It begins again. Oh, man. Oh. What a great episode of Dynamite today, man. That was awesome. Right off the jump. What's going on, everybody? Episode 3. Back at it again on another Wednesday night after Dynamite in Cleveland. No Johnny Gargano, which breaks my goddamn heart. I wanted him to be on that show so goddamn bad, dude. So close, bro. All right, maybe he's not coming yet. I mean, listen, it was just... My theory was that if he did end up showing up tonight, it had to have been during the Adam Cole match. But there were a lot of things that are really wrong with that booking, which I knew going in, Number one, that puts Gargano, like, you could... I would say he's with the best friends, but that would make him helping the best friends. So it's like, and you know, like Adam Cole. Then it also puts him right in the direct trajectory of Adam Cole, and people know, you know, that people know they have a history and they had banger matches, and like you can't ignore that once you put him into the picture. Once you put him into a picture with Cole, you can't ignore that. You can't bring him as a heel in Cleveland. I mean, you could, but I don't think you would. And you know, like Orange Cassidy, like needs that big win every once in a while. Like he's one of like the major players in the company, but like he needs that win. And the second the second they said it was a lights out match, I knew it was their out to, to have Cole get the L because it's not on his official record, which means they're protecting the record. Which means he's probably going to make a run for the title. I assume he's going to be the challenger for Hangman at Revolution. That's only 5 weeks away at this point, 6 weeks away. So that's 8 episodes of AEW television, 4 Dynamites, and 6 weeks away. That's 2 a week. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of television, a lot of television programming, for them to get through. To build to that point. So, like, you're going to have Hangman fight a whole bunch of dudes. It's going to be the same thing with Moxley. Moxley fought a whole bunch of guys. Then he fought MJF, which is the big thing, beat him. Fought a whole bunch of guys. Fought Omega. And that's pretty much what Hangman's going to do. This is going to be Hangman's MJF. He needs a guy that's been on a roll, that is, who could go in the ring, who could go on the mic, and is a heel. And that's Adam Cole right now, big time. I mean, there are other guys in the company that are heels, but like number 2 heel in the company's got to be Adam Cole, right? I mean, unless you want to call Danielson, but Danielson's a heel, but like, I don't know, like he doesn't cheat, you know, he's not like Cole like will cheat, like he's heelish, you know what I mean? Danielson's a bad, like he's a wrestler who's an asshole, but like Cole's a heel. So, it's got to be that. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, time will tell. If my prediction comes true, but great shit. I mean, nothing to me stood out in the week of wrestling, unless someone from the chat wants to bring something up. But nothing really was like really big time in the world of wrestling. I think like Cody. I think Billy. I think Bully Ray said some stupid shit. Who cares? He's past his time. Enough. He's got that radio show, just having interviews. Like, I couldn't give two shits about his opinion, honestly. So, and I'm glad that Renee was actually annoyed when they asked her what her thoughts were on it, because she didn't want to even give him attention to it. And if this channel had more than one viewer right now, I wouldn't even bring it up, because he shouldn't get that attention either. So he could fuck off. Let's get to the show. Beach break tonight was in Cleveland, Ohio. Again, I was hoping for Gargano. Shit. I mean, he's got to be AEW bound, right? You know what I mean? God, if he shows up at the Rumble on Saturday, I'm really going to be fucking disappointed. I mean, listen, I'm okay, like, you know, people want to talk about, oh, he's got to do it for his family. I'm a fan. I don't give a shit. I want what I want, all right? I want awesome fucking dream matches. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want, you know? I don't want him to be, making that money in WWE, all that shit. He's going to make money in AEW. He's not going to be poor in AEW. You know what I mean? He'll make more money in WWE, most likely, but he'll be used better in AEW. And to be honest, if the company's on the up and up, he only stands to make more money. The tide rises all ships. You put a guy like him on that kind of roster, have him have the matches that he had on a larger scale, but like the matches he had in NXT, you don't think he's going to make money? The guy's a star. He'll make money. He'll make money. So I don't want to hear all this shit like, oh, you know, it's a bigger money deal. It'll be for his family. Fuck you, all right? That's a fucking cop-out answer. We all know that the fucking WWE is a dog shit company, number one. Number two, they don't know how to book guys like Gargano, all right? Number three, it's fucking WWE. It sucks, all right? You get like don't go there. You know what I mean? Don't. If you're a professional wrestler, like, just go to a fucking AEW. Like, if you want to pretend wrestling and pray to God that the guy writing... Like, this is... Okay, here's what I'm saying. This would be a different conversation if we were talking about, like, an actor who signs on to a movie. All right, let's do this, for example. M. Night Shyamalan, right? M. Night Shyamalan, he came out the gates with, you know, he made The Sixth Sense, awesome movie, right? Made Signs, awesome movie. You know? Made Unbreakable, awesome movie, right? So he was on a roll. He was coming out with some really great shit. Then, like, The Happening came out, right? And The Happening was dog shit. Like, I remember I went to the movies to see that. Everyone was excited to see the new M. Night Shyamalan film. It fucking sucked. Maybe I'll go back and watch it. Maybe I'll appreciate it more now as an adult than I would when I was a kid when I saw it. But I remember how, like, whenever they got hit by the trees, they would stop. They would take seven steps back, and then they fucking find some way to kill themselves. I walked out of the theater. And after that movie, I took 7 steps back and started walking back in. That's how bad it was. But after that, no one really wanted to touch the guy. You know, same thing with like Zack Snyder. After like Sucker Punch, everyone was like, you know what I mean? So imagine a guy who does television or does movies. He's a director or he's a writer. He's he's known by the success of the body of work that he's been in. But for some reason, last couple of years, he just keeps coming out with shit. Year after year, movie after movie, season after season, shit, right? If your favorite actor were to sign on to a movie and it had him in it, he was the one who was involved in making the film, would you be happy for him? Would you be like, oh man, he must be getting paid so much money, his family must be so well off, oh man, I mean, the movie's gonna suck because, it's being done by such and such a guy, but man, no, right? No. I don't know why wrestling is the exception of the rule. Wrestling is a television program. There's actors, there's storylines, there's beginnings, middles, and ends, there's climaxes, there's low points. It is an ongoing episodic television program, just like any other, like a soap opera. Soap operas run new episodes every week. There's no reruns of soap operas. It's week after week after week, a new episode, right? They have their fillers episodes. They have the conclusions to their arcs, all that good stuff. If you're fans of fucking anime, you know what I'm talking about. I don't understand why just WWE is exempt to the rules of basic logic and storytelling that every television show and movie that you watch and criticize is held to. I mean, we live in a generation where people are taking freeze frames of Marvel trailers, looking back at the lore. Where there's after shows of fanatics that analyze the program. Like, you can't go back and analyze this show and tell me that like people and characters are being used. You don't know that you're being fucked with. You know what I mean? You don't know that someone's fucking jerking your chain. You don't understand that like they know what you want and they purposely withhold it from you to keep you straggling along like a dog on chasing a carrot on a treadmill. Like, this is what I don't understand. So when people tell me, no, they're going over there, they're going to make good money, fuck off. I don't want to hear that shit. All right? He can make good money in AEW. AEW is not a poor company. Tony Khan's not a poor man. Yeah, they may not be making millions of dollars, but they're still making money. So I don't care. Say what you want. I don't give a shit. All right, I pray to God that he's not one of those guys that goes back to the E. He's got to know that in terms of his body of work, like, they're not going to fucking utilize him. There's no job security there. There's none. How many people signed contracts and were released after, like, a week or two? Fucking B-Fab signed a 7-day contract and got released. How could you tell me there's actual physical job security there? You can. So if you want to go and you want to take the family route, if I had a family, I would be looking at job security. Job security meaning how long, like, at least if I get signed with Tony, he's going to let me write out my contract if things don't fucking work out. You know what I mean? Like, these people are still getting fucking paid. And if they want release, and I don't think anyone's asked for a release in AEW yet. But I guarantee you if they ask them, they'd be like, fine, bye. That's it. There's plenty of cap space that Tony would rather use with the plethora of for free agents out there. If guys like fucking Joey Janela and Brian Cage want to leave, man, dude, I'll take that money. I'll get me a Keith fucking Lee, bro. I'll get me a Keith Lee. I'll get me a Tony Storm. I get me a Candice LeRae and a Johnny Gargano. I'd stack my division. That's why none of those guys are leaving, because Tony knows Tony would just be like, see ya. And there's 1,000 other guys that are better off in that company that could be used higher up on the card. Unbelievable. But I mean, listen, I will always forever love Johnny Gargano. I mean, if he ever went back to WWE, unfortunately, I would just never watch him. Because why would I want to see my boy just get fucking crucified out there? It's not going to fucking happen. I have better things to do with my time. So, match tonight starts off with the ladder match. I figured that was going to be the match to start it off because the lights out match was obviously going to close the show. And you're not starting the night off with Red Velvet and Layla Hirsch or anything like that. Maybe the 6-man tag you probably could have started off with, but I've been getting cold on Jericho lately, and I think the fans are also. I think the most thing over about him right now is the entrance song. But we'll get to that as the show goes on. So it's Sammy and Cody for the undisputed TNT titles. Both titles are hanging above the ring. Ladders there. And they shake hands. They started off. Obviously, people half booing Cody, half love Cody. Cody's doing some great shit, man. I mean, like, say what you will. Like, yeah, like, if people don't like the way he's booked, but, there's, like, definitely, it's gonna happen. He's gonna turn heel. Like, it's going to fucking happen. Like, it's gotta happen. Like, there's gotta be a point where, like, there's money to be made in a Cena that snaps. You know what I mean? Like, that never happened. Now, if Cody wants to, like, be the Cena of AEW, fine. There's success in that, obviously, with Cena. You know what I mean? You want to be that one babyface, you want to be that one white meat babyface that, like, all the kids will love for forever. Cool. Like, that's cool, fine. Like, there's money in that. He's Cody. Cool. But there's that untapped money in that babyface, that stalwart babyface going into, like, the heel turn. Like, there are a lot of guys where you've seen their good side and their bad side. We've already seen Cody's bad side, but, like, man, is he holding it over our heads. I would really like to see it happen. I really would. I think it'd be awesome. I think it'd be a huge pop. I think he would get, like, the right kind of heat, like the MJF kind of heat, where, like, people are booing him because, like, he's finally doing what they want him to do. They finally want him to be an asshole. He's going to be an asshole. Boo! You know what I mean? And here's the thing. If they boo him, they're going to just be along with the heel's gimmick. If they cheer him, they cheer him. Who doesn't want to be cheered? That means they fucking love you. Even if you're a bad guy or a good guy, if they cheer you, that means they love you. If they love you, they're going to spend money on you. If they're going to spend money on you, you're going to be making that fucking money. So I think there's more money in the heel turn for Cody than there is in staying babyface. But, I mean, to be quite honest, there's still people cheering him, and there's still people booing him as a babyface. It's a really like a win-win for him, which technically means he's got to be doing some of the best work of his career. The fact that you could either be successful as a heel or successful as a babyface and pretty much do whatever you want in both and still draw a reaction from the crowd, like, that's a pretty cool shit. I'm curious to see as to, the only thing I really care about with the ratings right now, I don't really feel like comparing it with Raw or SmackDown. Like, those shows are dog shit. Those aren't pro wrestling shows. Those are just television shows. So I don't care. I consider whoever's watching that a completely different fan base. Jordan is so pissed off about fucking Orange Cassidy beating Adam Cole. I know you're upset with the booking of this of Cole, dude. I know you are. I know you are. Could he be being booked better? Yes. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. If you weren't going to be doing the stuff that you're doing with him now, I'm curious as to what you could be doing with him. Because, like, with Hangman, I don't know. There's just so much shit going on. I really don't know. I feel like he's in these storylines now because of it. We all know that Cole's going to have his time. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of when. And I don't think the way he's being booked right now is burying him with the majority of the fan base. If you're an Adam Cole fan, you're an Adam Cole fan. Like, you're still going to be watching him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anyone's, like, changing the channel off of an Adam Cole segment. You know what I mean? But it's only a matter of time. And, bro, if I'm right, you have him losing to Hangman eventually. That's coming, dude. So prepare yourself. Gird thy loins, my brother. Yeah, Richie, it was a low blow and then the hug. So, yeah, low blow hug. What do you call it? You know what I liked in this match? I liked in the match that, and I feel like you don't see this in a lot of other places. I feel like every single time I see a ladder match, no matter what point in the match it was, like, no one's sprinting up the sprinting up the ladder. You know what I mean? Like, logic would say, like, I'm gonna go up this ladder pretty fucking fast. You know what I mean? And if I'm a big guy and I have all this cardio and stuff, like, climbing up this ladder shouldn't be that big of a deal until the later part of a match. And I feel like people climb up the ladder too slow, too early. I liked how in the beginning of this match, they were fucking booking up this ladder. I like that shit. I liked, that fucking cutter. First off, that, what was it? Was it a brain buster? Or, what was it? Where he was, I don't know, like, but it was he had him fucking high up, Cody. He had Sammy high, and then dropped him from the top of that ladder. That was a fucking great spot. That springboard cutter from Sammy was awesome. And that crowd popped for that shit. That was great. That was awesome. TK tweeted? What did he tweet? Is Danhausen all elite? Please, Jordan. Please tell me. Yes! 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 Rise for Danhausen! I'm so happy. That's the only thing that could have soothed the burn of Gargano not being there was fucking Danhausen being signed. We're gonna get to that later. Woo! Yes! Danhausen is all elite. Now, and I knew it because, well, okay, now they're saying ass boys a lot. Oh, God. Oh. I'm telling you people right now, start watching Dark and start watching Elevation because the shit with the ass boys is going to start there. Danhausen, well, whatever. We're going to get to it. I'm so excited right now. I'm so excited. The springboard cutter was awesome. That, like, senton off of the top of the ladder onto Cody, that looked rough, dude. He didn't bounce. He just went like, ooh, like he just folded over him. Like, that's gotta suck. Sammy's gonna be hurting tonight. But that's okay. You can just lay back and let Tay do her thing. That's worth all the pain right there. If you told me I was gonna go through that amount of beating and I was gonna get to like bang out Ty Conti like later that night, set me on fucking fire. Like, I'll do all the shit that I'll do all the shit. Remember all the trials that Cody did? I will do all the trials of Cody, all the labors of Jericho. I will take 30,000 power bombs for that woman. Ugh. Anywho, there was a crossroads off of the ladder. That was pretty cool too. It looked like that forearm just fucking jammed right into Cody's face. That was nuts. I liked the spot when they were hanging from the rope and basically like Sammy was like grabbing onto him like a monkey and they just fell off. That was pretty cool too. You don't really see too many spots of both people hanging because they never have that trapeze thing. It's usually just the belts hanging from or whatever. Some sort of gimmick up there, but I don't know. I thought it was a great match. I think the GTH has got to go. Like that, I mean, like, I should probably watch it again, but that GTH on Cody looked rough, dude. That looked real rough. Also, I just think like a move that's like the GTS, but not like I don't know. I just think he needs another move. I'm not a fan of the GTH at all. It looks nasty when it gets done, but still, I'm not really a fan. Sammy is the undisputed TNT champion. I thought that was a good idea. Why they gave it to Cody and then it flopped back, I don't really know all about that. I don't really know what the point of it was. I'm depending on, I guess we'll probably find out as the course of Sammy's reign continues as to what the grand purpose of that was in the scheme of things for his title run as a champion. Because eventually someone's going to go and they're going to take that belt from him. Maybe it'll be fucking Jay Lethal. That'd be pretty cool. Speaking of Jay Lethal, they do a segment out on the snow with Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs was in this fucking banger Joe Namath looking like fur coat. I'm telling you, Powerhouse Hobbs is awesome. Like I can't wait for bigger and better things with him. I would love to see him beat the piss out of Keith Lee. That'd be a banger match. Two big guys who could go. Anywho, they were on the snow with Shivani, and basically Hobbs challenged Dante to a match again. I'm gonna assume Dante wins again. This is obviously eventually it's gonna be Hobbs. I'm sorry, it's gonna be Dante Martin versus Hook. It's gonna happen. At the rate of the way things are going right now, Dante Martin versus Hook, Revolution. Maybe the kickoff, it shouldn't be. Maybe the opening match of Revolution, that would be fucking dope. Two young, up-and-comers. Hook is over as fuck. Dante's over as fuck. Both have two contrasting styles. I know I've talked about this before, people. Yeah, you weren't too far off, Jordan. Yeah, with the random camera shot. Oh, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with him. Sorry, I got distracted. Two contrasting styles. I know I've talked about this before. But it's that is what has to happen. Dante could take the loss. I think Hook should beat him. Because the crowd's gonna go over. They're gonna book. They're probably gonna boo Dante. You really gotta book Dante smart because you kind of don't want your baby faces booed. But Hook is the more over of the two. I mean, he's the most over guy in the entire fucking company. Like next to I don't know, maybe like Danielson and Punk. But I think that's gonna happen. I think that's why they're keeping them separate. They're just having Dante feud with the other two guys, and eventually, the only reason why, remember, when Hook debuted, Taz said, I was forced to do this. We got screwed by Dante Martin. This all started because of Dante, and it's gonna end with Dante and Hook. Starks challenging Lethal for an FTW championship match. I mean, I don't really care about the FTW title. They're not really doing shit with it. Starks versus Lethal in a match is fucking awesome. I think that's going to be great. Is Lethal going to win the FTW title? I don't know. Because, I feel like Lethal should be getting a little bit more wins than losses. I don't see much of him lately. I see him on Dark. I see him on Elevation. He lost that match to Sammy for the TNT title. But, it's another thing where there's a lot of people on this roster. And a lot of them deserve to be on TV, To be quite honest, in my opinion, if we were to put everyone on TV that deserved to be on TV, that Red Velvet and Layla Hirsch match wouldn't have been on TV. I would have had someone else. I would have had the guys that you want on TV to have these matches. So, and to be quite honest, with the talent and the let's put it this way. Let's be flat honest. If you want a women's division, you're going to have to understand that some of the guys that you want pushed aren't going to get pushed, and their storylines are going to take longer to come through because there's not enough TV time to have everyone have everything. They only have 2 hours. Would Dynamite benefit from a third hour? I don't know, man. They have enough storylines that they probably could fit 3 hours, but watching a 3-hour show is a fucking chore, dude. 2 hours is perfect. 1 hour, maybe upping Rampage to another 2-hour show, possibly. But Thursday night, I think, has them compete with football. A 2-hour show on Friday night starting at 10 is not easy to watch a 2-hour show from 10 to midnight. I mean, hey, I'm a hardcore AEW fan. I would watch it definitely. But I'm not most everybody. So, but yeah, if you want a women's division, some of you guys are gonna have to sit back. 2-on-1 handicap match. Wardlow defeats a couple of jobbers. Wardlow's hometown. I thought, to be quite honest, they popped real big when they said Cleveland. I wish that instead of Wardlow having to focus on Sean Spears fucking jumping around like a goddamn idiot and yelling in his ear, that he would have like acknowledged the crowd and like soaked up his moment, because the dude fucking deserves it. Like, you know, like Wardlow's pretty cool, but my worry is that I don't see much of him outside of very quick matches. And if you're gonna book him like a Goldberg, then book him like a Goldberg. But those long matches, I'm worried about him. I don't want him to be like the male equivalent of Jade Cargill. Well, Jade Cargill is a compelling character. She has a great look and shit. She's she's like super strong, just like Wardlow is. But like, if you don't have that other kind of essence in the ring, well, she's getting there. And I know she hears the criticism. She talks about it on Twitter. Yeah, making Rampage a 2-hour live show would be pretty cool. I say that'd be dope. But at 10 o'clock, on 10 o'clock on a Friday, I don't know. I'm curious as to what you think, Jordan. If you were to do a 2-hour live Rampage, would you keep it on Friday nights at 10, or would you move it to another night, and why? I'm curious what you think. What was I gonna say? You know, like those long matches, you know what I mean? Like those are the ones that are gonna be scary. Like unless you could put him with a guy who could really work and really carry it, then that's how you then that's how you mask it. But we all know that like a Wardlow MJF match is coming. Now, MJF could definitely make Wardlow look like $1 million in the ring, so that would work out. But his eventual face turn, it's got to be, they got to knock it out of the park, because guys like Wardlow don't come along very often, and you only have one chance to make a first impression, and this face turn is obviously going to be his coming out party, so we'll see. He power bombs the shit out of all of them. Pins him. He stacks him up and pins him, and walks off. I don't know who was in the crowd. That I guess either they were related to him or something. But I don't know. There was some attractive looking Wardlow fans out there. Anywho, and he keeps Sean Spears from hitting him with the chair, which is great. I'm tired of this fucking shit with Sean Spears in the chair. He's another guy where I think his like character is pretty cool and he could go in the ring. They just have nobody who could really. There's just not enough time to like put Sean Spears in a feud. You know what I mean? There's just not enough TV time. What my hope is that Dark and Elevation become like an NXT, where they have their own storylines, their own titles. It gives their but Tony's. I don't know, the Thursday nights, I thought Tony said he wouldn't compete with football. Isn't football Thursday night? I'm not a big sports guy because all my teams are garbage. I just watch I like to watch the big marquee games and the playoffs. So it's like, but like, you know, like, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but is there is still such a thing as Thursday night football? Anywho, what was I saying before that? You know, it's his first, I'm like, yeah, there's just not that, Dark and Elevation should be like an NXT. They should have their own titles. They should have their own storylines. Because you know what that does? Then that means that gives the plethora of guys that you have on that title something, on your roster something to do, to be honest. I think that they should make belts for Dark and Dark Elevation. They should have storylines, make it, like, Dark and Elevation are just a string of matches, and some of them kind of have something to do with things that happen on the main shows. I think Dark and Elevation, if you want it to mean something, if you want to gain eyes on that product and start building storylines, that's what you should do. That's where you would hire like a Regal and stuff and put guys back there and whatever. So, anywho, I digress. Inner Circle fights my favorite trio in All Elite Wrestling, Daniel Garcia and 2.0. I am liking the fact that Santana and Ortiz are distancing themselves from Jericho. I think the Inner Circle has just been around too long. The same thing, you know what I mean? Like I think Jericho needs to take a long hiatus. I think I don't want to see him on TV for a while. I think it's time he needs to reinvent himself. I think his character is stale right now. I think the storylines that he's in, like, he doesn't really build anything to it. I think it just needs to be about the other guys in the Inner Circle aside from Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho brought the attention to the guys on the Inner Circle because attention needed to be put on those guys. Attention needed to be put on Sammy. Attention needed to be put on Jake Hager, who we haven't seen in a while, but there's really not much for him there either. You know what I mean? Unless, like, you know, he's going to feud with Wardlow again, but whatever. The spotlight needed to be on Santana and Ortiz. And, you know, for that brief point in time when MJF joined the Inner Circle, you know, spotlight was on MJF. Santana and Ortiz need to do their own thing. They need to go into the tag division and they need to fucking dominate and win some titles. I am hoping that they are the guys who take the belts from the Kings of the Black Throne, who I assume are going to be in line to be the next tag team champions and beat Jurassic Express. I think that's when that tag team division is really going to kick off. I think we're in a little cool off mode right now. Like I said, what I tell you last week, Jurassic Express is going to be used to start fighting with other tag teams in the division that haven't been getting real like title shots, like Private Party. And what do you know? Private Party's fucking going to have a tag team, title shot. And, you know, they're getting there, and they've been getting their wins on Dark and Elevation. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you want to know who's next in line? Like, you want to see, like, the trends and where things are going for this company? Watch Dark and Elevation each week. I'm telling you. You end up knowing a lot about what they're planning on the shows. I like Jericho on commentary. Because you know what? He reminds me of Jerry the King Lawler. Like, there's always that guy who's fucking screaming and just being an amplified version of himself on commentary. I like that. I will say this. Paul White, Mark Henry, Eddie Kingston, Taz, Excalibur, Shivani. That is like and JR. Those are a great commentary team. Some of the commentary that they do on Dark and Elevation is great because they kind of like riff it and they go off the cuff. I think Taz is awesome. I think he plays off of Excalibur, phenomenally. I like Paul White on commentary. Mark Henry's getting a little bit better at commentary, which is great because the better he gets at commentary, you put that up with his "it's time for the main event" gimmick, and I am very happy with Mark Henry's place in the company, and I think he's being utilized quite well. But anywho, Jericho commentary, maybe a rare thing, you know what I mean? Like, not all the time, but definitely a rare thing. Maybe throw him on Dark and Elevation, or, you know what I mean? He's got enough projects anyways, you know? Like, he should be doing shit with Fozzy, or writing a new book, or something like that, but, like, I don't know, the GFY thing, I'm not feeling it, like, square head, round head, Terrence and Phillip, that's kiddie shit, you know what I mean? That's fucking WWE, that's like Vince stuff, I expect better from Jericho. But I'm a fan of him on commentary. I think he's great on commentary. They do the whole thing where, like, Santana and Ortiz feel like they're gonna, they want to win the match without Jericho, so they tag themselves in. He tags in Jericho, if Jericho tags himself in, they're trying to tag him right back out. They do a thing where Jericho kind of helps him out with the win with the Judas effect into the pile driver finisher. I mean, listen, I love 2.0. I kind of wanted them to win. They weren't beating Jericho, obviously. They're not going to have Jericho lose and shit like that. And I don't think that Santana and Ortiz should be taking the pin from anybody anytime soon. Because, like I said, I think you should keep them strong. I think this is the beginning of them becoming a little bit more relevant in the tag division. I think them separating themselves from Jericho is a good idea. I think the Inner Circle should basically disband. You know what I mean? Like, Sammy's a champ. The Inner Circle didn't come out and help him out during the whole thing. It was fucking Fuego del Sol that did it, so that should tell you more than enough of what that means of Sammy in the Inner Circle. Santana and Ortiz have done the most outward pushed off from the Inner Circle. And Jake Hager's kind of vanished, but if I had a wife like his, I would vanish too. And that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? I think Jericho just needs to take a break for a bit. A promo aired with Lance Archer and Jake Roberts and Dan Lambert, and basically Hangman was Process, what's good, my dude? Welcome to the show, my brother. Basically he was shocked that it was going to be a Texas death match. I get that Hangman is kind of funny. And I like that about him. It's kind of his charm and appeal. I just want him to be, and I don't know how to say this, I just want him to put a little bit more bass in his fucking voice. And what I mean by that is, like, in his feuds, just be a little bit more like, you know what I mean? Like him beating Danielson, like, you know, like the speech of him being like, I wasn't good enough, I wasn't this, I wasn't that. I don't need to see my champion give himself a verbal tongue lashing on television. Like, I get that he's trying to, you know, I get there's this thing about them trying to do the whole, like, you know, vulnerable, anxious, millennial cowboy and shit like that. No, man, like, he's the champ. He fights. He's in a wrestling promotion. He's a fighter. He fights fucking big-ass monsters and fucking talented athletes. Like, just, you know, walk with a little bit more strut, you know what I mean? Like have some, I just, like, the confidence, you know, the lack of confidence shit, that shit is gone, bro. You beat fucking Omega and Danielson. No more being unconfident. Now I want him to be like, I'm going to tackle any challenge. So towards the end of that promo, when he was like, oh, you know, you're going to take me through all the 9 levels of hell, and I'm going to bring them all up with me. Cool, man. Texas Death Match, all right. It's going to, again, show Hangman's toughness, and it's going to give him an out beating a big guy. Again, like I said, big guys in fucking AEW, they're really hard to book. If you're not booking them unless you're making them a very rare attraction, you're booking them in handicap matches, you're booking them in street fights or no DQ matches, it's really hard to book these guys against a very small, lightweight roster. And there's just not many big guys. Again, I say again, make the FTW title the Big Hoss title. Make Ricky Starks be the last, like, cruiserweight guy. They have the title. Get him and have him do stuff with, you know, have him get away from Team Taz and do whatever. Like, Taz should, like, it should be more about Taz and the belt. And every single time that there's a feud with that belt, Taz is involved. He's the guy doing the interviews. He's the guy doing the weigh-ins. He's the guy doing the contract signings. Like, Taz should be the guy that does shit with the FTW title, and it should be about fucking monsters. Like, the whole thing with Team Taz is we build assassins, right? What better look of an assassin is a fucking Jack Diesel, gigantic fucking motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, have that guy go out there and do that shit. So, but, you know, whatever. They do a promo with Jurassic Express and Christian, Private Party, and Matt Hardy. They're doing the tag title match on Rampage. They call out Isaiah Cassidy's fake watch, which, come on, that had to be fake, right? They do the CM Punk MJF promo. They're gonna drop. Now, this one kind of shocked me, and the reason why this shocked me is that they're actually gonna do CM Punk versus MJF on free TV. They're not gonna make you pay for it, which makes me believe that you're gonna get the match, but you're not gonna get the finish. Are they gonna do that in Chicago to people in Chicago for CM Punk? I don't know, man. I mean, hey, every once in a while you gotta have a big match on TV, you know, to get eyes to the product. And CM Punk is, you want to get ratings, you put CM Punk on TV. It's been proven since Rampage. Rampage hasn't had a viewership like that ever, and never will again, period. Unless something fucking huge happens on Rampage. Actually, Rampage might have that kind of, might have that rating if it was MJF versus Punk on Rampage in Chicago live. Then maybe Rampage would get that that viewership. But they're drawing this out again. Oh man. Punk so MJF says something about like a no-show in 2014, and they never really, like, I don't know, they never really expounded upon that. So I'm wondering what that was all about. But basically it all comes down to Punk versus MJF in Chicago next week. Punk brings out the Pinnacle. FTR, Shawn Spears, Wardlow, they lay them all out. I was actually curious of whether or not this was going to be the point where Wardlow goes face and doesn't do the powerbomb to Punk. He wasn't really a part of the main part of the beatdown that was going on during that segment, and they made mention of that on commentary, so that's something to take note of. But you know, he does it anyways. He power bombs him on the chair. They leave Punk lying. MJF sits on Punk's chest like the whole pipe bomb thing, all like Indian style. Basically says I'll see you in Chicago. So it should be interesting next week, man. I'm definitely gonna be fucking tuning in. MJF, CM Punk, Chicago, live, Dynamite, the match everyone's been wanting to see. Unless they do a swerve, but Tony doesn't put stuff out there that he doesn't do unless he's not able to do it. So, Acclaimed call out John Moxley. Anthony Bowens is gonna fight him on Rampage. Anthony Bowens is fucking incredible. Moxley's doing awesome, so I can't wait for that shit. Oh, it was the first Raw after Rumble. Yeah, that's right. Because he got eliminated by Kane, and you never saw him again. You never saw him again until he debuted last year. Yeah, Punk's got to win in Chicago. I mean, it has to happen. It has to happen. You put Punk in Chicago, you have MJF win. Yeah, he's got to win. I'm just shocked that they're doing it on free television, to be honest with you. And I don't know if that means that they're going to do, like, does that mean we're going to get a trilogy of matches between Punk and MJF? I'm curious what you guys think. Griff Garrison and Julia Hart backstage. They were about to do a promo about the House of Black because House of Black has basically decimated the Varsity Blondes. Mark Sterling showed up and basically said that Jade Cargill is challenging her to is offering her like a TBS title match. I guess if you want to like beat jobbers, then you can. Julia Hart accepts. Basically, what's his face? Griff Garrison was like, oh, you sure? You should think about this. You're not ready. And basically she was just like, I fight my own battles. So, maybe, and the graphic for that, she was still in the cheerleader outfit with the eye patch on. I just don't get it, man. Like, I just don't get the eye patch thing. Unless, my boy, Joseph is saying that maybe Julia is going to be joining the House of Black. So that's a possibility. So we'll see. I was just about to think that maybe she takes the eye patch off and she has that thing on her eye like fucking Malachi Black does. So we'll see. It'll give her a little bit more of a character. I would like to see. I mean, I haven't seen her in the ring often since the eye patch thing. So I'm curious. I guess that means she's probably getting a little bit sharpened up in the factory because I think she's one of QT's students. I'm not really sure. But hey, man, that women's division needs all the help it could get. So if she could hone her craft and get better, that's all the better for it. Layla Hirsch defeat Red Velvet. It was a match, it was just a little awkward, you know what I mean? I still can't really get behind Layla Hirsch. I just I don't know. I just can't get behind her. It's just like she just needs more character. I get this is a build towards something like that. I feel like baby faces are just a dime a dozen, but like heels are a little bit interesting. It depends on what kind of heel they're gonna make you. So it looks like she's gonna be that like shooter heel or whatever. It looks like she's gonna feud with Statlander. I would assume Statlander gets the win unless they're looking to push Layla. But I don't think. But what are they really gonna push her towards except being more fodder for Jade Cargill? So we'll see. I mean, I don't know why you would have her beat Statlander and just to lose to Jade Cargill. So, but we'll see. We'll see. After the match, Layla Hirsch put on the armbar after the bell. Statlander came out and chased her off. So, I mean, that was always going to be the match. So, there's that. Malachi Black cuts a video promo. He said that Brody King is the embodiment of conflict and violence. I like the House of Black. I'm telling you, they're going to be future tag champs. It's going to be fucking awesome. Looks like they're going to be feuding with Death Triangle. They're going after Pac. I mean, Death Triangle isn't going to be whole for a bit. You know what I mean? Ray Phoenix is probably coming back in the next, 3 or 4 weeks. So I guess it's going to be Penta and Pac holding it down with Death Triangle. I feel bad for Death Triangle, man, because Death Triangle's had a bad luck streak. It'd be either between COVID keeping Pac out of the country, the separate injuries to both Phoenix and Penta. It's just like they're very rarely ever whole. You know what I mean? So, and they would actually be shoo-ins for trios tag belts. So I do hope that Phoenix gets better soon. Soon you're gonna have full Death Triangle, Pac, Phoenix, and Penta, and we'll see what they're gonna do with them going forward. They did during the commercial break, Sammy did one of those cue card gimmick things, basically saying he's like one of the main guys in the company now, and he's moved his way up in the last 2 years, all that good stuff. Good for Sammy, man. He's the TNT champ. He could definitely go. He could definitely cut a promo. He's definitely good. I just want him to have legit challengers. And the thing with Cody was pretty cool. And, if that was just a little bit of a hiccup in the road to kind of just boost him along even further, then all the better for it. Because I think before him as TNT champion, he was doing okay shit, but not like the greatest stuff. The match with Cody tonight was fucking awesome. So he definitely needed that. So, props to Sammy. Britt Baker does a promo. They have all the awards that she won in 2021. It was basically just her putting herself over for the whole time, shitting on Cleveland, putting over the Pittsburgh Steelers. I was hoping that maybe Thunder Rosa was going to come out because the match of the year thing, Thunder Rosa was a part of that. So I was waiting for her to come out and use that as a basis to be like, yo, you might think you're all that, but like I was there, blah, blah, blah. And, but I guess it's not the time yet. I guess it's too far away from Revolution to do that match because it's still my opinion that the match for Revolution is going to be a steel cage match between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. That's my prediction. Thunder Rosa's already made mention that she wants a cage match. She's never done one before. I think I wouldn't do a straight up wrestling match with them after they already did the because you could do I don't know, like the appeal, like the big claim to fame for both of them was that death match. And you could do that death match in a steel cage. So I think it'd be awesome. I think it'll happen in steel cage. I'm very excited for that. If not, maybe they do a straight up wrestling match. But either which way, my prediction is Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker for the title at Revolution, with Thunder Rosa finally going over and finally getting her moment. I think it's time. I think the Baker era has done everything that it needed to do. I think it's time for her to take that clout and start building up other women in the women's division who really need to be brought up because they need it. They do a rundown for the card for Rampage. Jon Moxley versus Anthony Bowens, FTR versus Lee Johnson and Brock Nelson, which they kind of set up a couple of weeks ago. TBS Championship, Jade Cargill versus Pirate Julia Hart. And the tag team champions, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus Private Party for the AEW tag titles. The following week, Dynamite, it's going to be... Oh, shit! They are going to do it, huh? House of Black, Malachi... I don't know how I missed that. House of Black versus Death Triangle in the tag match and CM Punk versus MJF. So Chicago's looking to be a great show, boys. Looking to be a real good show. Finally, they had the unsanctioned Lights Out match between Orange Cassidy and Adam Cole. The second this was... Now, I know that... I feel bad for Jordan because he fucking hates the way Adam Cole's being booked right now. But I mean, for me, the second they said it was a Lights Out match, I knew Cole wasn't winning. This is their out. Orange Cassidy needed the victory. To be quite honest, you can't keep him as that. You can't keep portraying him as this guy and he's just beating over fucking nobodies. Like every once in a while, he's got to meet. He's got to beat a big boy. And tonight was the night. And it protects Adam Cole because it was a hardcore match, and fucking Danhausen came out awesome in a random spot. Cole was trying to pull the ladder out from underneath the ring, and he was having trouble pulling it out. And to be honest, when he first did it, I was like, oh my god, it's Gargano. I really thought so. I really did. The back of his head and the stature, I was like, holy shit. I guess Danhausen's all healed up. I mean, they didn't have him do anything. I think he cursed him. That was pretty much it. I think the leg still needs healing. I think it's going to be a build to Danhausen getting a match. They're going to have him cut promos and do a whole bunch of shit. Unless he's medically cleared, we'll find out. We'll see if it's reported that he's cleared to wrestle and he's going to be in. But Danhausen is all elite, confirmed. I can't wait. I love fucking Danhausen. What? Keep who like that, Jordan? There's a delay. So I don't know. Keep who like that. I'm curious. Just I thought it was just was about a great lights out match. They did all the hardcore spots, garbage cans, chains. Cassidy cut his hand, so they had that. They played that up that he couldn't do the orange punch. He does the beach break on beach break. That was kind of cool. All that good stuff. Finally ends with Adam Cole climbing on the top of the stage, about to do a Panama Sunrise. Cassidy comes and keep orange like that. What? Oh, just beating guys once in a while? Oh, beating nobodies and losing. Bro, yo, you can't. You can't. You can't, what? You're just going to keep, I mean, you could keep him a mid-card guy, yeah. You know what I mean? But, like, the guy's over. You know, the crowd loves him. Like, you can't, like, they're not booing Orange Cassidy. Like, when he does shit, they cheer for him. Like, you gotta give him something every once in a while. You know what I mean? And Cole could take the loss. Cole's over as fuck. You know? I mean, like, he's Adam fucking Cole. He's gonna be fine. But I get it. That was pretty funny, though. Everybody came out. Cole came out. Stooge number 1. Wheeler came out to stop, Brandon. Bobby came out to stop Wheeler. Chucky T came out to stop Bobby. The Bucks came out to stop Chucky T. Then Roppongi Vice comes out to stop the Bucks. No Kyle O'Reilly to be found. I mean, obviously, are they gonna, it's gotta be time for Blood and Guts, right? That's gotta be happening. Is this gonna be it? The Bucks? I don't know. We'll see. Remember, the Undisputed Era have never lost a War Games match. I think Roddy Strong put out stuff on PWTs. Is that a sign? Is he gonna be? Is he leaving the NXT? Are they gonna reunite the Undisputed Era? They should listen. You gotta if Roderick Strong ends up being a free agent, you gotta sign him. You gotta reform the Undisputed Era. You obviously can't call them the Undisputed Era, but I'm pretty sure you could think of a more clever way around that than what the WWE did with the Club or the OC. Dog shit names. And it was only like 3 guys. Like, you're actually getting the full Undisputed Era. Undisputed Era wasn't like the NWO. They weren't like a faction. They were a group. You know what I mean? I feel like a faction has a lot of people. Like, Chaos is a faction. Undisputed Era is a group, like a band, like the Beatles. You know what I mean? It's the smart money play to put all those guys together. Name them whatever you want, but it's a smart money play to put all those guys together because you have everything that you need. You got a guy that could win the mid-card title, Roddy. You got a guy who could win the main title, Cole. You got a guy who win the tag titles, Red Dragon. You want to know how I know that? They did that in fucking NXT and it worked. When they had the undisputed undisputed prophecy. It was fucking off. No. I am. Yeah, I'm going to throw Paragon's trademark the same day they signed KO. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. So Paragon was trademarked the same day they signed Kyle O'Reilly? All right. Yeah, I am going to be sick if Friday went into the Rumble. That's fucking bullshit, man. The same way I'm going to be upset when I see Ciampa in the Rumble. Getting fucking tossed out. Oh, yeah, Gunther, right? What was that? I heard the promo that they were saying how Gunther was like, he was talking about why he changed his name, and like Walter was the name that his father gave him, and the name that was passed down by his bloodline. But it's time to let the past die. Yeah. Right about that. Because they fucking murdered NXT. And anything having to do with it, bro. Just like how they murder all the names of anybody coming up from the fucking indies. I'm talking about you, Donovan Dijakovic. Why couldn't they just keep him Donovan Dijak, man? Whatever. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Oh God, I hope so. They're just waiting for Roddy. They're just waiting for Roddy. Yeah. I didn't know that Kyle O'Reilly said that. I must have missed that in a promo. I mean, so if that happens, then that gives, because like the Bucks could do their own thing. They could form something with the Elite because Kenny's probably going to come back eventually. So if Roddy comes back, they could do a Blood and Guts with, the Best Friends versus the Paragon, if that's what we're going to call them, or Undisputed Era. Who would it be? It would be, you could do Trent, Chucky T, Wheeler Yuta, and Orange Cassidy. Or you could swap out Wheeler with Rocky, which maybe I would prefer, but I kind of like Wheeler Yuta. He's getting there. He's growing on me, you know what I mean? Like, his spot in the Best Friends is kind of He's like a guy, but like, whatever. But yeah, that was pretty much the night. And again, the match doesn't count against the wrestlers' records due to it being an unsanctioned match. So basically, Orange Cassidy gets the visual pin against Adam Cole. This doesn't affect Adam Cole's standing in the rankings. He's still undefeated. Still, I believe, the number one contender for the AEW title. It's only a matter of time before it's him and Hangman. And then Jordan's going to have to watch Hangman beat him. Because that belt is going to go to... See, here's the thing. A lot of my predictions with, like, the MJF eventual title win, like, they're all kind of put in flux now. Because I did not expect Punk versus MJF to be on television. And my assumption was that Hangman was going to get his win over Danielson. That was going to get his big win over a big guy. MJF was going to get his win over Punk. That was his win over a big guy. They beat they beat 2 out of the 3 big names that came into the company last year. And then they were going to fight each other. And each of them were going to have serious clout going into that title match. But I think Jordan in the chat was right. I think that there's no way you could have Punk lose in his hometown. Unless you're trying to get mega heat on MJF and you do it in the right way. I think, I don't know, unless what happens is, Wardlow helps Punk get the win. Wardlow, big face turn, huge pop in Chicago because he's going to be getting it by helping Punk. Punk wins in Chicago, over. And then that brings us to what I thought was going to happen would be MJF versus Wardlow at Revolution. Yeah. You say, yeah. MJF should be the next champ. 100%. 100%. But I think it may not happen until Double or Nothing now. I think if this is the way that they're booking it now, and CM Punk and MJF are going to fight in Chicago, and I think Punk's going to go over in his hometown, then that's what gives us... So then it's not going to... All right, so then maybe they'll do a trilogy also. Like, this is the thing. Like, I worry about trilogies. I worry about trilogies because they could easily become like a creative crutch, a handwriting crutch. That's what, that's what like the WWE does right now. It's just the same, like, DQ, interference, DQ, interference, DQ, interference. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know how to book clean finishes. So, like, but yeah, I think it's going to be MJF, Wardlow, Revolution, MJF, Hangman, Double or Nothing. Or they give Hangman a lot longer of a title run than I thought he was going to get, and he holds on to it until All Out. I think that's too long. But you kind of want to have your main champions have significant reigns. I mean, what? Britt Baker won the belt at Double or Nothing last year. So she's getting close to a year reign, which I'm pretty sure is almost what Hikaru Shida had, but I don't remember. So like I feel like their main champ should have like a minimum 6-month reign. You know what I mean? Like your main champion. So Britt will lose the belt eventually. I hopefully at Revolution, if not at Double or Nothing. I don't think she's holding on to it into All Out. I don't think... All right, let's put it this way. None of the champions that are holding belts now, you will see holding those same belts by All Out. they're dropping him they're dropping him between now and Double or Nothing, guaranteed. But anyways, that's I still think AEW following the designated path of champions and sticking so strongly to it is not good. MJF is 100% the next champ. Yeah. Do you think that Hangman MJF Hangman MJF was the plan all along, right? That was the plan all along. So MJF is 100% the next champion. I agree with you, dude. I 100% agree. When it's gonna happen, I don't know. Hangman just won it at Full Gear. He's been champ since November. So November, December, January. So 3-month reign. Yeah, I say he holds on to it for a little bit more, maybe till Double or Nothing. The only problem I have with that is that's a long time, and I don't know how many challenges they're really gonna throw at him. You know what I mean? Unless they're gonna just keep on building number one contenders and just throwing people at him like guys like Lance Archer and shit like that. So who knows? I don't know. That main title scene right now, and you know what? I like it. There's a good balance between me watching the show and me being able to kind of book it in advance in my head and be like, all right, well, the way that they've set things up logically, if you're going to do something good, it's going to be, 1 + 2 = 3 kind of deal. But I also think that there's a lot of intrigue and there's a lot of not sure things, which I like because it adds to the effect of the victories and the losses that happen when you can't just spell it out beforehand. You know what I mean? So I like the way things are going right now because a lot of things that they could do, there's things they could do wrong, but a lot of things that they could do right. And even if it doesn't go the one way we all expect, it's possible it might go a completely different way and still be good. So who knows? Like I said, AEW still has that good faith with me so far. There hasn't been that many disappointments where I'm not 100% confident in the booking. But I do feel like they are running into a problem where they just have too much talent for the television time that they have, which means I believe that I think it would be a good idea for Dark and Elevation to have their own titles just like NXT did. Have their own champions, have their own storylines. These are ways for you to experiment with guys getting pushes, being in feuds, cutting promos, getting main event caliber matches, but on a smaller scale, and making it meaningful. You know what I mean? I think that is something that AEW should look into. Make Dark a division. It's possible, Richie. It's possible. Richie in the chat saying that he's thinking that maybe the Cody free agent thing might be the workaround for Hangman. Yeah, it's possible he could say, well, I made it a part of my contract that I could never challenge for the AEW title again. But, and then he could say, well, now I'm a free agent. I'm not really a part of AEW. Yeah, that could be the workaround. And that'd be great, too. And I think obviously they should do that if Cody was heel. 100%. This is what I'm saying. The heat is already there for Cody and Brandy. Make them heel, man. It will work out better. You know what I mean? I feel like they would find a groove in it because that's what the people want. Just give it to them. That's what the people want. Anywho, another great episode tonight. I'm fucking starving. I'm gonna make myself some food. Play some Gears of War 5 for the end of the night. I will be back again after Dynamite, talking about the weekend wrestling and a Dynamite review and a Rampage review. Yes, I know I said that I was going to Yes, I know I said I was going to do a show after Rampage, but to be honest, after Rocky Romero got COVID and they pulled him from that match and it wasn't Bucks versus Roppongi Vice, I realized to do a review on an hour show is just, it's not worth it. So I rather just review I rather review tonight's episode of I think what I'm going to start doing is just doing Dynamite and the previous week's Rampage. That's what I'll do. I'll start with Rampage in the beginning, get that out of the way, and then do the Dynamite review after. And that's kind of how I'll format the shows from now on until things change. But I appreciate all you guys watching. I appreciate the interactions in the chat. Royal, Jordan, Richie, Process. Thank all you guys for listening to me tonight. I appreciate it. It means a lot. And I will see you guys next week. All right. Take care, everybody.